Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Zips, and welcome to a neat little tier list idea I've came up with. So, I do a lot of Monster Train 2, and one of the exciting aspects of a Monster Train 2 run are the various events that you can see in a Celestial Alcove. A lot of them are very fun, they can impact your run in sometimes small ways, sometimes massive ways, and I thought I want to rank them. I want to put them in a tier list, and yeah. So let me go over the tiers here real quick. Run defining is any event that gives you something that just like defines your run. Just like this, you see this, you're like fucking hyped. Like this is what my run is gonna be about. Great boost, not quite run defining, but still is like a very appreciated thing to see. You're always happy to see these kinds of events. Solid, same idea as the great boost here, but a little less so. Decent but not exciting is ones where it's kind of like uninteresting what you get, but you're still like, you're not mad to have it, but you do kind of wish you saw something more cool. And letdown is like, it's a letdown of an event that you wish you could take, or no, not that you wish you could take, you wish you saw anything else, literally anything else. It's like, I don't even know if I can click on this. This event might just be bad for me, or it might just be really boring. So yeah, with that criteria out of the way, let's get started. So, we are starting out with Arceus. Also, I have the Monster Train 2 wiki pulled up here so we can look at these events together. So, Arceus. This event, Arceus shows up, one of the bosses from the first game shows up, and you can offer up 10 Pyre Health for a 50% chance at a relic, and if you do it a total of 3 times with the or 4 times with the 4th time costing 20 Pyre HP, you get a guaranteed relic in the Glooming Dark Shard, which every time you draw a Blight, you will draw another card and get 1 energy, and you start out with 2 Blights. So it is a very good relic. However, it's tough. It's tough for Arceus. The problem with this event is that you have, like, 50 Pyre HP is a big ask in this game. Like, if this was an event in Monster Train 1, like, I feel like this would be a perfectly fine event. You just give up your Pyre HP. In fact, there was actually an event like this where you could give up Pyre HP for money. And something else you could give up. No, I think it was just money that you got for it. But anyway, the problem is that it's Pyre HP is way more important in this game with how the Titans are designed to be kind of a slow burnout fight where they're slowly trying to damage your Pyre, and you need Pyre HP in order to outlast them. It's really tough to give up 50 Pyre HP. If you're playing a higher HP Pyre, like Fyra's Greed or Dominion Pyre, then maybe you can make the justification. Or but most of the time, I feel like I'm only clicking on this if my run is like really ahead and I'm just dominating it. And I have the opportunity to pick up a Pyre HP later in the run when I see this. See, I feel like this event could be better. I'm gonna put this in decent but not exciting, because I feel like I can't quite put this in letdown tier. But another issue is that you're not even guaranteed to get like relics out of it. I think the value of Looming Dark Shard does offset this, because you are guaranteed to get this thing, and this thing is very good. It's a very good, but it's also not like run defining. It's just like a nice boost. So like now you don't have to deal with the Blights in your deck anymore. It's It's hard to justify putting Arcus higher. It's hard to justify it. Anyway, we on to the Balatro event. So, let's go over here. Balatro, you get the option of, this is gonna be a more complex one. You get the option of six possible relics you could get, each of them based off the legendary jokers from Balatro. You can get Canio. We'll go through them, but one you're always going to see it in each of one of the relics you are always going to see when you go into the event is Gross Michael, who non-champion friendly units get plus 10 HP, and at the end of all combats on all floors, it has a 10% chance to be destroyed, and when that happens, it is replaced in the next rank. It is replaced by Cavendish. Non-champion units get 3x base attack, and it also has like a small chance to like blow up because it's like funny. The event's interesting. So let's first go through the jokers that you can see here. Tribule is kind of bad. You almost never click on Tribule. Yorick is kind of meh. A lot of the time you don't have consume cards in your deck, but I imagine if you could get this on like a cool like Under Legion run where you're like consuming a bunch of cards for like Moral Mistress, I imagine it could be pretty cool. Perkio, I've seen great things from. I haven't clicked on Perkio like at all, really, but I've seen that like Perkio from other people, this thing's like pretty damn good, and it sounds pretty damn good. Chico is really nice for certain fights. He mutes them for 3 turns. It can be a nice buffer for Dominion, a nice buffer for the Titans. It absolutely trashes some fights in this game, like the boss that like descends all units onto the floor and then gives them all multi-strike. It absolutely crushes that one. And then Canio is what I would probably say is the best out of all of them. When you purge a card, which is something you almost are always going to be doing in your run, you gain 75 gold. This is excellent, really, because it basically means your removes just cost less, and also your first 2 removes in your run basically just are free and give you money. It's excellent, and you want to be removing cards in this game. So this is I think I am leaning towards solid, maybe great boost. I don't think this event is like, maybe this goes into great boost because you are very happy to see Canio. In certain situations, I'm usually happy to see Chico. And you're happy to see Perkio. Yorick, I said Yorick is not great, but Yorick isn't that bad. The weird part of this event is Gross Michael. Gross Michael, a lot of the time, isn't very good. And there's also a lot of times where evolving it into Cavendish is actually just worse. Like, if you have a unit that has, like, 5 base attack, you're only going up... Well, you're only gaining, like, 5 more attack, and if you have, like, a unit with, like, 3 base attack, like, I'm pretty sure, Husk Hermit has 3 base attack, then you're only going up, you're actually getting less attack than you are out of Gross Michael. So it's very rarely going to do stuff, but I think it honestly is a little bit underrated. I think there's more cases than not that this is giving more than Gross Michael. Although there is also times where Gross Michael just won't die, and you won't even get Cavendish if you're wanting it. But hey, maybe one day in the future, I'm going to get like a run with the super expensive rare unit that I don't remember the name of from Umbra, and I'll be able with like 100 base attack, and then I'll shoot up to like 300, and then I'll like die to Seraph. Maybe in the future. As is, I'm feeling great boost just because A lot of these relics are really good. This definitely is not like a run-defining event, but Canio, I think, just kind of carries this event. You're not always going to see Canio, but Canio is kind of just like far and away the best one in my opinion, and the rest of them are like pretty decent. I might be sleeping on Perkio a little bit because I think Perkio has like a lot of sauce. In fact, I think actually Perkio is like really good. And maybe Perkio and like Canio are like the far and away the best ones of this event. Then I would rank it probably like Chico, Yorick, Gross Michael in another tier, and then like last place would be Tribule. You like never click on Tribule. Next up, we are on to one of the new events that actually it's unfinished here. Unfortunate. But I do remember how this one, I do know how this event works. It is the Beacon event. This one is run defining, but I kind of hate it. This is my least favorite. Maybe, I hate seeing this event because I never want to click on. So what this event does is that you can either give a unit an upgrade that gives them 50 attack, 50 HP, but it removes all their techs and like everything like about them. So if they have like quick, they'll lose quick. If they have multi-strike, they'll lose multi-strike. If it's like an incant siren, they'll lose their incant ability. And the second thing is that you get a 3-cost card that dazes every single enemy unit on every floor. The card that dazes every single unit is literally as long as you can, it's literally like an auto win a lot of the time. As long as you don't do like literally 0 damage, you will just like win everything. It actually just shuts off the Titans. It just completely shuts off the Titans. You get fucking holdover -1 on this, you're like set. You are completely set. It's like Frenzied Swarm, but like Frenzied Swarm from the Stygian Guard clan, but just better. Every time I see this event, I always click on the other option where it's like 50-50 stats, but you lose the text. It's a fine on like the 50-50 stats, it's fine. It's like if it was just that, I would put this in like solid to maybe I'd probably put in decent but not exciting along with, because it's fine, where it's like, it's mainly something I put on like a unit with HP. I mainly play it for the HP and like putting it on a tanky unit that I don't care about the effect of. I remember I had a run where I put this on like, I forget the name of the unit, but it's the Avarice unit from, the one space Avarice unit from Pyreborn, and I basically had a 1 space 50 HP tank, and it was kind of decent. Yeah, less complex, definitely a less complex event, and it will go in run but still one where you basically just get a winning card that just wins everything. Run defining. A Bone Dog. I love Bone Dog. I've become such a big Bone Dog fan. So, Bone Dog, you have 2 choices at this event. You can either get the Bone Dog's Pendant. The first time your pyre reaches 0, restore the pyre to 25% of its original health. It can only be triggered once. Basically, you could just think of this as 25% more HP. Or you could get Bone Dog here, which is Celebrate, where if it lives throughout the whole combat, then you get plus 10 pyre HP. I think this event is really good. I really like Bone Dog. The relic it's a very like consistent event, so where you can just kind of always click on Bone Dog's Pendant and just take the very consistent 25% HP boost. And it's like, as I mentioned earlier, pyre HP is like super important in this game with how the Titans are designed. So you have the safe option of just clicking on Bone Dog Spendin, or you could get funner and click on Bone Dog. You do need to see Bone Dog a little bit early, but even just like plus 10 Pyre HP, if you literally only get this off once, it's like it's still like really valuable. And realistically, you're at least gonna be getting this off like twice or 2 to 4 times, I want to say, on average. Or you get like an extremely goofy run where you dupe your dog, like you duplicate your dog and then you're able to get like multiple celebrate procs. I had a run like that. It was very funny. But yeah, Bone Dog, very good. Yeah, I think that's it. Alrighty. Flight event. Clipped wings. So this event is weird. This is a strange event, but to break it down, you basically get an upgrade where you give a unit a slight stat boost and the flight ability, which is Talus's ability, which lets it like move to any floor, and just move to any floor and any spot on a floor. Honestly, like the way this event works is a little weird, but essentially every time you click on it, it's like the way the event starts is that you can just get like the discarded wings upgrade immediately, or you could try like taking 50% chances in order to get an upgraded version of it. The downside is that they have like a 10% every time you click on it. There's a 10% chance that you're gonna get nothing. And basically the only thing that's like notable is which one of it is the final one you can get, where it's Wings of Light, where it grants Titanite 10-20 stats, and the ability when it flies onto the floor, it deals damage to the front enemy unit. Titanite is very good, but it's kind of hard to get this. It's not something you're reliably gonna be getting, but if you can get it, it's very good. But the more notable thing about this event that's going to more consistently be impacting all your runs is the fact that you're giving a unit the flight ability, which basically allows you to play a unit always on the floor, and it's interesting. In theory, I think this is like really good, and I'm gonna put this in solid, but it's not one I'm super excited to see. If I played more with this in mind, like build my run more around the flight, because flight is potentially like a really good addition to your run. The problem with it is that it does take up an upgrade slot, and putting flight on a unit takes up an upgrade slot, and sometimes you just really can't justify like taking up an upgrade slot, especially mainly on like a carry unit. But it's a good event. It's a decent event. Kind of annoying to explain because I don't want to get into all the fucking math that's listed on this page, but you can like pause and read through this if you're interested. Here, I'll scroll down a little bit. There you go. Alrighty, moving on. Cult of the Lamb. Just like the game that this event looms from, this event is mid. So the way this event, it's an upgrade you can see here to where it's the Red Crown upgrade, and you get 2 follower units, which are 1 space 1/1 units with multi-strike 2. And the Red Crown upgrade is endless, and also every time the unit is summoned, they gain a random equipment. This event's mid. This event is basically just taking endless for get at the cost of putting two random units, putting two useless units in your deck. The followers are sometimes okay, but almost never are they gonna like actually end up being like your carries of the run. Like, they're kind of meant to be like drafts, where they're like one space multi-strike units, so if you have a way to buff them, it's like pretty impactful. But that's not fucking real. That's not real. That's not real. That's not gonna be a real part of your run. Don't be silly. And anytime you can actually fit every time I've been able to fit these on a floor, I just thought, like, I don't need this unit. This feels more like a win more unit if I'm ever able to actually get this on a floor and be able to buff it, because most of the time I already had like another unit I'm already buffing that's like actually deployable. Another issue with these one space followers is that they're not deployable, so you can't get them at the start of the fight, which very much inhibits your ability, the consistency of you buffing them. And onto the Red Crown. It's Endless is good most of the time. Like, you do need a unit that actually wants Endless, and there's a good amount of those. There's a lot of units that want Endless. The problem is that getting a random equipment most of the time just kind of, especially on the units you're actually putting this on, which is usually like some sort of unit that like you want to die, so then you can get them back next turn, like a Fledgling Imp, a Stealth Tome from Melting Remnant, if you're like really desperate in a Luna Coven run and you have like an endless, why am I forgetting the name? The common unit that like phases the moon, that changes the moon phase. The problem is that Red Crown giving the unit a random equipment can actually make it harder for them to die if you don't already have a way for them to die. Like, you could have a Fledgling Imp that spawns and gets God, I can't remember the name of everything, but it's like the equipment that gives it like 30 HP, 60 armor, and silences it, and now you just have this stupid ass wall that won't die, and now you don't have like a Fledgling Imp giving your units rage. So yeah, it's literally just like it's literally just like Endless, which is sometimes good, but you're taking a most of the time detrimental, or most of the time useless upgrade alongside of it, and two followers that just like take up space in your deck. So yeah, pretty mid. Dante. Good old Dante. So I haven't really clicked on Dante much in my time playing Monster Train 2, but I would be absolutely insane not to put this in run defining. Dante is the GOAT, has the stats of every time he is summoned, he adds a curse to your deck, and he gains permanent multi-strike for every single blight card in your deck, Dante's Candle being a blight. So yeah, he just, most of the time, this is like a 10 multi-strike unit. And yeah, that's very OP. It's not something it's not something you can click on a lot of the time, because it's like you're doing Underlegion. Or no, it's not something you can click on it a lot of the time, unless you're playing like Underlegion. But yeah, and later on you also get like you can get some like you can get the Dante's Inferno card, which is like deal damage to units on all floor and the damage is dependent on how many blights you have in your deck. And you can also get Dante's Candelabra, which gives your Pyre 2 Titan skin. But yeah, Dante's just crazy. If you know Dante, you know that he's the GOAT. He is the GOAT of the Monster Train series. Little needs to be said about Dante. He belongs in run defining. Alrighty, on to Divine Shards. Oh, this fucking event. So Divine Shard gives you two choices on what you can do. You can either heal your Pyre to full HP and give it an additional plus 25 maximum Pyre HP, or you could take the unstable shard option, which reduces the Pyre to exactly 1 HP, but all your units have 5 attack and 12 HP. So I'm going to put this in Great Boost, because plus 25 HP is really nice. It's basically, this goes there for the same reason I put Bone Dog in Great Boost. But this is probably the most this is the most lopsided event in the game, with no exception. There is basically no circumstance where you're clicking on Unstable Shard over Divine Shard. It just never happens. It literally is, because taking your Pyre to 1 HP is just terrible. You could literally just, like, 1 HP literally puts you to where if you forget to play a fucking Unstable Pyre Shard, you just lose. And all you get out of it is a meager 512. This needs to give you, like, triple the stats. Like, 512 is just insulting. This needs to actually give you, like, triple the stats, and maybe it'll be clickable. Maybe. I feel like most of the time you're still gonna be clicking on Divine Shard just because it's safer, and literally, like, going down to 1 HP is fucking insane. Especially, like, even with the Titans aside, it's just, like, literally the fact that just, like, any bit of damage to your Pyre, you could, like, could be offered this event and then immediately be fighting, like, Pyre Hunter Archean, and then you just fucking die. Yeah, like, plus 25 Pyre HP, great. Reducing your Pyre HP to 1 for basically no upside, not good. Not good. I'm going to... This is the Entropy event. I'm going to move this to where I have Savagery. I'm going to put all the Titan events, the Titan upgrade events, next to each other. And then we'll talk about them later. Alright, so we're on to the Gremlin Looter. So the Gremlin Looter gives you, gives you the option to get, a consumable card from various clans. All of them are listed here if you want to read them. All the things you can see. This event is pretty letdowny. It's pretty letdowny. Yeah. I will put it in decent but not exciting, because I had times where the card that this gives me is actually, like, really important. Like, I remember I had a run where this gave me Forevermore Serum from Lazarus League, and, like, that Forevermore Serum ended up being, like, my survival plan. But it's not really that exciting of an event, because most of these cards you can get here are, like, not that exciting. There's some good cards you can see here, like the previously mentioned Forevermore Serum. There's Alloy of the Ancients, which can be really good. Most of the time, it's pretty meh. Like, when are you ever wanting fucking Hollow Drippings outside of a Melting Remnant run? Almost never. So, the kind of notable thing about this event is that this is one of the only events in the game that lets... Out of all the events in this game, you can potentially get the most amount of money from it. You potentially, because You have, if you see up to 3, if you get the version of this event where you see 3 of the you're able to, where you're offered 3 consumable cards, then you can get up to $30, which is the most you can get out of any event in this game, I'm pretty sure. So if you're like, if you look in a shop, there's an upgrade in it that you're like slightly off of being able to purchase, and then you go into the event and get $30, and that gets you exactly enough to be able to purchase the upgrade you wanted, that would be like pretty big. Oh fuck, I forgot to turn on my I'm gonna turn on myself here. Yeah, I wanna turn on my, I'm gonna turn on myself. That I always turn on. Man, I forgot. Man, I'm kind of bummed I forgot about that. Oh well, it happens. But yeah, kind of a mid event. Alrighty. So what are we on to next? We are on to Hef's event. Or Hef's Records. So for this event, you can either wait, no, that's not right. Or no, Hef's Blueprints, Jesus Christ. So you can either when you go into this event, you get 2 out of 3 options where you can get a Fight Club mod, which puts a Fight Club onto the top floor, one that puts Spell Sanctum on the middle floor, or one that puts Boiler Room on the mid floor, or you can either pick up Hef's Hammer, which is a 20 attack equipment that has the effect of Slay, give the room +1 space. Yeah, that's what it does. This event's solid. Solid to maybe like I'm gonna put this in Great Boost because I feel like this is like between, more accurately, I feel like this is between solid with sometimes where this is run defining. I think solid is definitely, I don't think it's quite run defining enough to where, I don't think it's quite run defining. Or I wouldn't put it like quite in run defining, not on like the same tier as like these two. But it's very good. Fight Club is like, it is dependent on what floor you actually plan on playing on. Most of the time you're either doing the top floor or bottom floor. If you're playing bottom floor, Boiler Room is a really good room. It's basically just a ton of extra energy you get throughout your run. Fight Club on the top floor is the least appealing out of all 3, but still okay. Like, I think Fight Club is alright. Or you have, or the best out of all of them, Spell Sanctum on the middle floor. It is definitely, like, worth trying to, like, play middle floor in order to get Spell Sanctum, where all your spells getting -1 is huge. And that just for free, that's a 3 energy room that you're just getting for free. It's very good. The only problem is that, like, sometimes you're like, it's really hard to play, like, not on the bottom floor if you have, like, if you're fighting Savagery or Dominion and you have no way to kill the curse enemies before they apply curses in your deck. But can definitely be worth it a good amount of the time. And Hef's Hammer is an equipment I don't click on. It's an equipment I don't click on much. It's fine. Maybe if you're doing like an Umbra deck, giving yourself space could be good, but most of the time, like, I'm clicking on the room upgrades. Yeah. I think Solid is a Great Boost, I think, is a good spot for it. We are on to Historian. Wait. Oh, I think this tier list, I think I'm missing something here. Hold on. I did miss something. I did miss a spot on this tier list. Anyway, so, Historian Records. Mad! unbelievable. This is maybe the worst event in the game. It's either this or the Cult of the Lamb event. But yeah, you either get the option to trade one of your artifacts for 2 random artifacts, or you get the very meager, sometimes detrimental Historian's Razor. A lot of the times, this will ask for a relic that you really don't want to give up. Like, very rarely are you gonna be... This is, most of the time, you're seeing this early, like, on rank 3. And it's asking for, like, your starting relic, which a lot of the time you don't want to give up, because it's very rarely going to be, like, completely useless, to where you're fine giving it up for 2 random picks. And Historian's Razor is literally like Gross Michael, but worse. Yeah, not much to be said. This event is pretty buns. It is pretty trash. Okay. Next up, we are on to the Inkbound event. So, Inkbound event. You have 3... You will see 3 out of 5 of these optional relics. You can either get Quilling Catcher, which is the best out of all of them. Just because it's a ton of extra gold throughout your run. Leaky Pen, which is sometimes good. You kind of need to see this I feel like you kind of want to see this early, and then you make the judgment call that, like, I can fight, I can beat the Act 1 boss. Or you see this in, like, rank 3, and you make the judgment call, I can beat the Act 1 boss without -1 energy, and then I pick +1 energy for my boss awards, and I have, like, a +2 draw relic, which can be good. At the start of Nim's Oath, which at the start of the turn apply 1 daze to a front enemy on a random floor. This is also, like, pretty decent. Then we have this thing, which I am not going to pronounce, which friendly units gain 1 conduit on Slay. I don't think I've ever had this thing, like, do anything in a run. And Wolo's Bloodletting, friendly units get 12 attack, but they take 1 damage at the start of every turn. If you're playing this for the 12 attack, I think like, you're silly. But I've seen most of the times this is unclickable, but I've seen sometimes, I've never clicked on this thing, but I've seen other people take this for the 1 damage to your own units. Specifically, I watched a friend play this game, and he took this so he could, like, kill his imps, his endless imps, so he could replay them the next turn. Which is kind of cute, but most of the time you're never clicking on this. This event's pretty good. Honestly, I'd put this event in Great Boost. Quilling Catcher is extremely strong. It's kind of Quilling Catcher. This is kind of the same event as the Balashra event, where one of the relics just, like, clearly outclasses the other, where it's Quilling Catching outclasses the other. Now, you can see this late in your run, and you won't really want Quilling Catching or Quilling Catcher. But most of the time, you see this early, you're fucking ecstatic to just have a ton of extra money throughout your run. Next best one, I'd probably say, is Nim's Oath, because 1 daze is very good. This isn't really going to be, like, a Dominion answer. This is not going to be, like, it's not going to, like, answer Dominion, like, because you can't actually daze Dominion with this. Well, when he's on the floor you're playing on. But this could, like, sometimes hit Savagery on the Titans fight and, like, save you 5 HP a turn. Anything else, really? And sometimes this hits, like, the floor you're playing on. It hits the front enemy, it saves you a little bit of HP. It's alright. But I think with the power of Quilling Catching boosted... Maybe I'll actually put this in solid, actually. No, I'm gonna put this in great. Or I'm gonna put it in great boost, just because I also just like this event. Alrighty. Next up, we are on to the Inscription event. Inscription is this is a very interesting event. So, you when you go into this event, you get 3 options of an upgrade you can get. You can either give an ability, give a unit the ability to sacrifice to kill themselves to gain 3 energy. You can give a unit 3 reanimate, or you can give a unit fecundity, which when you play them, you get a second copy of them in your hand, and they cost +1. This is so the interesting part of this event is the card you pick when you click on this, the card you get. I wonder if there's like, yeah, this is a good demonstration of this. The card you give the upgrade to will have a little code displaced on it. And if you hold on, sorry, my phone. That was my phone. Anyway, you'll get a little code on the card, and the way this works is to like utilize this code, is like 001 here. With your pathing throughout your run, you have to go like 0 means that you have to go left. 1 means you have to go right. So you see this and you go with your pathing throughout your run, you go like left, right. Then you will revisit this event and you can grab the other 2 upgrades, because normally you can only get 1 of them. So the idea is that you like put this on like you can put like all of these on like 1 unit and have a unit that's like reanimating, giving you a bunch of energy, and also like resummoning themselves. This is potentially very good. Yeah, this event's quite good. I would put this in great boost. Maybe I'd actually move these 2 down. I am gonna move these 2 down. I'm gonna move this to solid. I might use, no, I think this stays here. I think this is a good fit for it. Yeah. So Reanimate 3 is great on any unit you don't want to die. Worthy Sacrifice is great on like an imp or any unit that you're putting endless on that you want to die because you just got a ton of extra energy on it. And I haven't really tried Fecundity outside of like getting all 3 of the upgrades, but I think this could be like decent if you have like if you're playing like what is the Herzl's Horde, and you just have a ton of starting energy that just like lets you play like a second copy of your carry units, which can be good. Definitely can go here. Now we are on to the library. So the library gives you the option of gives you 3 options for a tome cards from randomly chosen clans. Not necessarily the ones you are playing as. So what you can see from here are all the tomes you can get, the rare tome cards. I think that this event is, I'm gonna put this in solid tier, but maybe this goes up into great boost, because there's some stuff you could see from this is like amazing. So the notable ones you can see from this are Umber Stone to get Trample on a unit, Stygian Stone to get Unnamed Tome to shut off like the Titans or Dominion. Those are like the 2 big ones. Other decent ones are Quick Tome to just give a unit quick from Awoken. Tome of the Lost Path I've clicked on a good amount of times to give a unit flight. This is literally the exact same as like this event, but it doesn't take up an upgrade slot. One Horn's Tome for multi-strike on a unit can be very good, and sometimes you could even like click on Tome of Horrors if you want to like get a unit exploding, or like have a 3 cost deal 50 damage to a floor, or no, 100 damage to a floor. Yeah, this event, but yeah, a lot of the time this ends up being pretty good. sometimes you see like 3 dud tomes, but a lot of times you'll see at least one that's like can't like decent. Alrighty. So we are going on to this one of the new ones, the Life Mother's Remnant. Oh fuck. You know what? I'm gonna save this one for last. Cause this one's a bit to explain, and I don't have the wiki to help me. I'm gonna save that for last. All right, we are on to the Mysterious Mirror. This one, very simple. You have 2 options when you go into this event. You can copy a card, or you can copy a card 5 times. I love this event. I'm definitely overrating this event. I'm putting this in run defining. I love this event. I absolutely love this event. I love duplicating a card 5 times. This is kind of a thing where you can see it in ranks only 3 to 4. But this kind of is just like a thing where you always like pick up your upgrades in a shop first, and then you look inside the Celestial Alcove, because you like, if you get like a spell that you like put good upgrades on, and then you see the option to duplicate it 5 times, it's like, it's massive. Like, this is so much of the times is like, and most of the scary thing with this event is, oh, you're putting a lot of cards into your deck, so your draw could be worse, maybe. But no, not really, because you're getting 5 copies of a good card. So, like, most of the time, this is just improving your draw consistency. Yeah, this event is great. Very simple, very clean, very nice, very happy to see it. Path of the Angel. With this one, you have 3 options to put a upgrade on one of your units, each of which gives them an ability. You have Wrath, which 3 cooldown makes the unit attack immediately. Benevolence, which heals all units onto the floor. I don't remember the cooldown on this, but I'm guessing it's 3, and also gives heals all units on the floor, and also gives them +5 max HP. And Courage, which moves the unit to the front and gives them shield equal to their missing HP. I would put this in solid. The great thing about this event is that it puts an upgrade on a unit. The way it puts it is that if you already have a unit that's like has all their upgrades, then you can put this on, and it will like be added on as like a 3rd upgrade. So the way I would rank these, Courage is kind of useless. I feel like almost never this is actually good. Benevolence can be okay if you don't have like a carry unit and you want to give Wrath. And Wrath is just the best one, because like a free extra attack is most of the time very nice. I don't know, I'm actually kind of leaning more towards decent but not exciting, because like 3 attack Wrath is like good, but on a 3 turn counter, it's not really something you can rely on. Or not turn counter, god, that's not Wild Frost. On a 3 turn cooldown, this is not really something you can rely on. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like and the other 2 are kind of mid. Okay, well, Courage is like trash, and Benevolence is like okay at best. So you only really have Wrath, and a lot of the time when I see this, Wrath kind of just feels like a win more card. Like, I have a damaging unit that's like already like very strong. Like, I already got like most of the time I'm only putting Wrath on a unit that already has their upgrades filled out. So a lot of the times, like, I already have a unit with like multi-strike and quick. A lot of the time, Wrath kind of feels really win-more-y. And it's just not that valid. Yeah, I'm actually feeling like this goes into decent but not exciting. I think so. Alrighty. We are on to the Penitent Suit. So, the way this works is that you have two options of a upgrade you can put on a unit. You can either put Fragile Penance on a unit, which gives them fragile, but on a Celebrate proc, you get plus 10 attack permanently, or you get a unit on the Asceticism, I definitely am saying that wrong, where it will give them Ember Drain 2 on summon, but you also get 3 energy, and later on in the run, you will get upgraded versions of these upgrades that remove the downsides of them. So like with the Frailty upgrade, you will no longer be fragile. This event is okay. I don't know if I would put it in solid. Like, I'm looking at this, and I don't think I would put it at, like, the same tier as the rest of these. I think I would put this here. The attack boost you get from, like, the Fragile upgrade, a lot of the time doesn't really feel that amazing. Like, I mean, plus 6, it is good. But it also, like, you need to see it early for it to be, like, really impactful. And if you have to see it early, then that probably means you're putting it on a unit that doesn't already have their upgrades filled out. Like, you want this on your carry unit, which, like, doesn't have its upgrades filled out. So a lot of the time, like, this is really good on, like, a hothead. Like, this is actually amazing on a hothead, but most of the time, I don't really think you want to take this early. I actually like, Ascetic Penance maybe a little bit more, just because I really like putting this on like an endless unit that you're gonna be replaying, like an imp. I've mentioned imps like good amount of times. What are other endless units? You have the Tada mushrooms from Underlegion. You know, those guys that go ta-da when you summon them, and then they apply decay to the enemy units. Yeah, this event is kind of just okay. Fragile can sometimes be dangerous, but most of the times it's fine. But sometimes it really can, like, screw you over. You have to like know what boss you're fighting. Like, you can't click this into like Spike's Fleshweaver or any of the fights with like the frontlining Spike enemies. Yeah, it's not that impactful. I feel like this goes exactly this goes right next to the three upgrade abilities challenge or event. Okay. Next up, we have the Plague Doctor event. So, Plague Doctor event, you get 3 choices here. You can either gain a random graft unit, craft a random equipment onto a unit, or you can graft a equipment from your deck onto a unit. This event is solid. I think I will put this in solid. A lot of the time, so the first option I've never clicked. I've never clicked the first option because, like, it's whatever. The other 2 options are pretty good. Grafting a random equipment onto unit is great to put on like a carry unit. There you can have this screw you over, like if you're playing like, I don't know, like Sirens and you get Stoic Plate Mail and then your units and then your like Siren is now useless, but that's like a 1 out of this many chances of happening. Or you get like Iron Tongue. It's like the really bad ones you could hit is Equalizing Rings. Not Glass Cannon really, because you're putting this on a carry unit most likely. Stoic Plate Mail. Iron Tongue. I don't think there's anything else. Maybe mitosis cap, I guess. And I think that's it for like possibly bad ones. But yeah, this is like 4 out of this many that for like grafts onto a unit. So most of the I've never been punished for like grafting a random equipment onto a unit. It also like gives like a small little upside to where if the graft unit dies, then you will get the equipment it was holding, which I've had one run where it was that actually mattered, where I got like a quick dagger from the graft and I needed the grafted unit to die. It was like a grafted siren, and it needed the graft unit to die so I could put like a quick on my main carry, which I think was like Icy Cephalophyte, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, and even better is if you can actually click on crafting one of your equipments onto a unit. That's excellent. Now, you do need to have an equipment already in your deck that you want to put on a unit, but if you see this on like you're playing, this just saves you like starting energy or deployment energy, and it just like guarantees you get that equipment on the unit you want. This is just like, so you're guaranteed to get like a Swift Steel Dagger on a sweeper. You're guaranteed to get like which one? Hey, can you not see hold on. Oh, you can't see a Void Armament here. You can't get Void Armament. That's actually very interesting. I was gonna Well, you can't see Void Armament from the graft. I didn't actually know that. Yeah, or like put Void Armament on like a unit, like your carry unit. It's very good. The graft part. So yeah, all around pretty good event. Definitely can chill out in solid tier. All right, we are on to the Rail Spikes. So Rail Spikes gives you three choices of spikes from random clans. The rare spike cards. Actually, wait, no, not one of these clans. Spike is not rare. I'm pretty sure it's the Pyreborn one that's not rare. So yeah, let's run through these real quick and talk about which one of these are good. Banish Spike, pretty mid. Pyreborn Spike, unless the money Avarice can be okay, but that's really all this is good for. Luna Coven Spike, only good in a Luna Coven run. Under Legion can actually be really good sometimes. This is a really good one, especially if you have like Damage Shield or Reanimate. Lazarus League, a very good one because Reanimate can be a very good survival plan. Spike of the Hellhorn, pretty mid. Awoken Rail Spike, shit. Crap. Spike of the Stygian, even worse. Shroud Spike, only good if you're playing an Umber run. And Melting Remnant Spike, only good if you're doing a Melting run. Overall, I would put this in decent but not exciting. This is just like, compared to the tomes, the spikes are just way less consistent. Compared to the tomes, they're way less consistent amongst your runs, especially in like the Monster Train 1 clans. Like, all of these are really meh. The best one out of all of these, I'd probably give it to the Under Legion, either Under Legion Spike or Lazy League Spike. Sometimes this is very. I've also had times where getting like one of those two is like really run defining. I don't know, it's really tough because like less often. I don't know. Because like if you compare this to the tomes, sometimes these are the Under Legion Spike or the Lazy Spike are like run defining. But other times they're just like okay. No, I think this goes here. And they're less splashable than like the good hits from like the tome event. Like, they're less splashable compared to, like, just silencing the boss for free, or giving your main carry trample, which is never not a good thing. Unless you're doing, like, like a Morel Mistress line and you're not dealing damage through hitting the enemies. Or your damage is coming through other sources. Okay. Reliquary. Oh, God. Oh, wait, nice, yes. Thank you, Monster Train Wiki. So, you get 3 options at this event. You can either draft a rare card from your allied clan, draft an artifact from your allied clan, or get the Pact of the First Armageddon, where all your picks, all your future drafts will be from your allied clan. This is one of the new events, and I haven't seen this one much, but I think it's good. I want to put this in solid because this is most of the time. This event is get a free relic. I think this is a fine event. I think I'm fine to put this in solid. Maybe this actually goes in fine, but no. I'll put this here. Although, if I put this here, I'm trying to, like, rethink my tier list now. I think I'm more excited to get... I'm more excited to get it's a free relic compared... especially if it's a relic from your allied clan, so there's, like, a higher chance... I feel like it's a higher chance of it being a good one. And you have, like, instead of just having, like, an option of 2, it's an option of 3, I'm pretty sure. I've never clicked on the other 2 options in this event. I feel like Pact of the First Armageddon has potential to be goofy. And, like, I guess a free rare card is also, like, okay. Oh, wait, no, this is... It says here, option of 2 artifacts, so I am misremembering. Okay, yeah. But still good. Like, a free relic, I think, is just decent. Although, I did just catch myself there where I called it decent. I guess I do have to put it here. I might rethink how I order this. Yeah, this is what I'll do. I'm going to make a new row below. Let's color. No, this stays yellow. I'm going to make a new one, and I'm just gonna call this fine. And I'm moving these down to... I'm going to move these down to fine. And these 2 can go in their own tier. Yeah, I like that. I'm happy with that. Make sure that looks good in OBS. Yeah, okay. So, I have ranked this. We're moving on. All right, we are moving on to... Let's move back up in the tier list. Let's go back to... we're on to the Titan upgrades events, starting off with Entropy. So, you get 3 options at this. You either get Entropic Stone, which gives a card -4. This Entropic Groves gives a card triple stack, or a spell card triple stack, or you could give a spell. You could give a damaging spell, Permafrost, and if held in hand, it permanently gains +5. I think this event is really solid. I'd even be willing to put in Grace. Also, the downside, all these events share the same downside, where if you click on an upgrade, you get a curse in your deck. It's a different curse from each of the events. From this one, you get a 2-cost curse that, if it stays in your hand, all spells in your deck get +1, which basically means you're fucked if you're not able to play it. I'm gonna make this fine-ish. There we go. And I'd move this to the front. Okay, just ordering the tier list as we go. Yeah, okay. So Entropy's crystals -4. It does I feel like compared to the other ones, this is my personal favorite out of the three. I think I've clicked on all of these before. -4 if you have an expensive spell to give it to can be very good, is excellent. If you have a damage spell, I think like, or okay, a good damage spell. So like anything that hits all units or anything that like has like attuned, like some of the spells from Stygian Guard. But if you have those at Entropic, this one, the spell power one is definitely very decent. And if you have a card that wants double stack, then triple stack is good. Now, there is times we're gonna see this event and you just won't have a spell that fits any of these criteria, any of these three criteria, which in this case, yeah, it's a letdown, but I feel like I've had this hit more times than it miss. So I'm going to put this in solid. Next up, we are on to let's do Dominions first because let's do Dominions first. So, Dominion. You get 3 options. First off, the curse you get is a 1-cost curse that makes all cards or non-curse cards in your hand cost +1. So, you basically means you have to spend energy to play this as your first thing you do in a turn. So, you can either get Dominating Power, which on strike applies corruption, Dominating Control, which is gives a unit on strike apply melee weakness and spell weakness, and we don't talk about the second option. I've never clicked on the second option, which is it summons trigger will automatically play a unit from your deck. I'm pretty sure this is trash, especially if you have like your start is like you have a unit that start that gives you like starting units like Erratic Assistance or Dregs. But yeah, overall this event, I think I'd put this right next to I put this right next to Entropy's event because the spell weakness, damage weakness. God, I'm starting to. I'm breaking apart, man. I've only been doing this for like an hour. I can pull through. Anyway, so the melee weakness and spell weakness on strike is really great if you are able to put this on your main carry unit and they have multi-strike. Like, it's literally just like, it's not double their damage. It's like a 25% boost to their damage. That's right, isn't it? Because they're hitting twice and their second hit is doubled. Yeah. No, it's like a 50% damage boost. I can shut up. I know math. Shut up. It's a 50% boost to their damage, which is very big. I think the curse apply corruption is very rarely something you ever click on. Most of the time you're getting the melee weakness, and if you can put this on your carry unit, it's very good. So yeah, I'll put this in the same tier. I feel like you click on this, you're able to click on this less often than the Entropy event. Yeah, that's just kind of the end of that thought. All right, now we are on to Savagery's event. So you either get can get Savage Skin, which gives a unit Titan Skin 5. You can give a unit Rage 5, and they permanently gain Rage on Revenge, which is when they get hit. Or you can pick up Savage Spirit, which is you give a unit plus 40 HP, and they gain 2 attack for every 1 missing HP. I think I am gonna put all of the curse, the Titan curse upgrade events right next to each other. I think I would say Savagery's is the worst, just because these upgrades feel the most situational out of this collection of them. Savage Skin is pretty meh. I kind of undervalue Titan Skin as like a concept. I'm not that into it. Savage Heart can make for very fun runs, but it's pretty rare that you get a run that can play this. Because you need, like, your carry unit needs to be a frontliner, which doesn't happen a ton. So it can happen, of course, with like Baron. I know I've had this with like the Harvest Barons and Melting Remnant. And Savage Spirit, you can just play this for like a plus 40 on a unit, but this has a great synergy with the Lazarus League card Risky Operation, which reduces the unit's HP to 1. So they just get the maximum attack boost from Savage Spirit. It's extremely strong with that. With that upgrade, or that card. But yeah, for the most part, these are the most situational events. Like, I feel like I have chosen to just skip this event more than these two. I think that's true. I feel like that's true. And I also would say Savage Shackles is probably maybe the worst. I don't know if I'd say that. It's a deployable curse that gives, it's basically like -1 deployment energy, which does matter. I would say it's probably Savage Shackles is probably the worst curse out of the 3. I think I would say that. Okay, moving on. But yeah, it's the most Savagery event is the most situational, but I'd also give it the credit that it is the most explosive, potentially. I would say Dominion event is probably the one where you're most consistently clicking something. Well, okay, you're most consistently clicking strike, apply melee weakness. But I would say Savagery is the Savagery ones, especially with like the Rage permanent attack one. It's very fun and very explosive if you get it to work. If you can play it and are able to get it to work. Alright, only a couple more to go. The next one, we get one of the new events, Soulforge. This one, you sacrifice your champion, and you get a Soul Shard, which is a energy relic, a draw relic, and a space relic all molded into one. I would say this one's pretty situational if you can click on it. Like, and of course, I've had a lot of runs where I could just click on this and just like I would happily throw my unit away to just happily throw them away, my champion away, to get like the massive boost of a relic. But there's also the massive boost of a space energy and draw relic. But there's also a lot of times where you just cannot click on this. Overall, I would put this in solid though. I think that's a good place for this, because it's pretty simple. I feel like whenever you can click on this, it's super impactful. And if you see it, it's just kind of like you can't click on it. And I feel like even if you a lot of the time you can just justify killing your champion to get this. Like, I feel like you can't click, you only cannot click on this if your Titan is like your main carry or like your main game plan. If your Titan is just like, if you're using your Titan as just like a tank, like with you're playing Sentient and you're just using them as a tank, or like you're using them as like a way to carry you through the early game with something like Ardoon Mystic Hammer line, then I feel like you can definitely take this. Yeah, I'm happy with that placement. Okay. Next up, we are on to my GOAT, the Richard Garfield event, the Wondrous Boxes, the Jack in a Box event. I would put this at the top of the great boost tier. I love this event. So a lot of the time, this event is just removing 3 cards from your deck. You can remove 3, or more accurately, you can either remove 2 spells from your deck, or most of the time you're clicking on the Jack in the Box unit. Oh, I didn't say what this does. So you can either click on a Jack in the Box unit where you put 3 of your units inside the box, and on a resolve effect, one of the units you put inside the box will be summoned. And this is on a resolve effect. Small Gift Box, which is a spell that when you use, or when you click on it, you put 3 spells in the box, and with Small Gift Box, you get the spells that you put inside the box. And Large Mystery Box, which is the goofy one, where you get a random relic, where every turn you get a random card. I've only had this give cards from like the clans that I've selected, so like if I'm playing like Under Legion Lazarus League, I'll only get like Under Legion and Lazarus League cards. But yeah, most of the time with this event, you're clicking on Jack in the Box. You can click on this for like 3 removals, and also it's like a 1 space 0 cost deployment unit, so it's literally just a free like redirect of like flying bosses. If you don't know, like flying bosses, the way they spawn on the highest occupied floor, so you can just put this on, like, if you're fighting Savagery, this just means Savagery will not start on like your main floor if you're playing bottom floor. So yeah, and there's also a good amount of times where you can actually just use the Jack in the Box as like a reliable part of your game plan. Same could be said for Small Gift Box, where you could have like a run I've seen with Small Gift Box is like you have the Umbra card where Enkindle, I think it's called, where it's like doubles your energy, and then you put like an X cost spike alongside the Small Gift Box, so you double your energy. You can double it, like you double your energy, and then you play like the spike for massive value. That's like an example of something you could do with this. And with Jack in the Box, you can use this to like cheat a unit onto your floor. You could use this to cheat like a multi-strike bird from the Banished clan, so you don't have to like spend 4 energy to play it. You could use this to like cheat like a big space unit onto the floor if you really wanted to. This event is excellent. I would not put this in run defining because I've rarely had this define my runs, but definitely I would put this in Great Boost. Top of Great Boost. This event is excellent. Alrighty, 2 more to go. We have Wrecked Remains. So this event gives you 3 options to choose to get a rare card draft from 3 random clans. This one, I feel like this event goes like right smack dab in the middle. I feel like this goes right in the middle. Or I'm kind of leaning more towards decent but not exciting. Sometimes this is no, I'm decently excited to see this event. Yeah, I think I like that. I'm gonna put that in decent and solid because like this literally is just dependent on like what solid. It's like basically a gamble that you of like what rare card you get. So, if it is pretty gambly. Like you have to see a unit with like rare cards that would be good for your clan. I'm gonna put this in decent but not exciting. I don't know if I'd actually call it. I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna rename this tier like last week. I'm just gonna rename it decent. I feel like decent but not exciting. I wouldn't, because I thought I would put like stuff here that's like boring stuff that's like okay, but there's not really a lot of that, and all that I've put in like fine-ish, like the bottles event I would describe as like not exciting. Hold on, wait, that's bugging me. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is it's hard to quantify this one for like, it's literally like you could see anything. You could literally see anything from this event. Sometimes you could see like a rare card from another clan that's like game-breakingly good for you. Other times you just see nothing. This is like literally, this is like the most middle of the road event in the game, I would say. Alrighty, last event, the one that I skipped because it's the most complex. So the way this event is where is it? Where was it? Where did I skip it? Life Mother's Remnant. So the way this event works is when you come across it, you can have the option to take a relic that at the end of each fight, you duplicate a random card in your deck. This one, that you never click that. You have the option to leave, but you also have the option to give up like, I think it's 20 Pyre HP to get an upgraded version of the relic later down the line. The upgraded version of the relic is the first card you play every at the start of every fight, you get a permanent copy of it. That one's quite good. Just a bunch of free duplicates. Free duplicates of a card you want is a card that's mostly of your choice. It of course has to be like a card that like you start off with your opening it. It's mostly mostly have the choice. Or you can give up, I think, like another 10 or 20 Pyre HP to get a upgraded version of the relic later down the line that duplicates the first card you play every turn, and you get a permanent copy of the first card you play every turn. That's the silly one, because you could get like a deck full of like one card. Like I know I had like a -2 remove consume fire breathing that I duplicated like 30 times. I would put this event in. I don't think I would quite put this in Great Boost because like the usefulness of this, it's very new. I've not seen this event much. Every time I've gotten it, it's been pretty alright. I think it's a good place. I think this is a fine place for it. I'm very decisive. I'm not super sure with where I would put this, but I think just free duplicates, I would probably put that in Great Boost actually, but I don't know yet. So I'm just gonna put this in solid for now because I've not seen this enough to like get like a really solid like understanding of where I would put this. All right, I'm going to, before we end off here, I want to reorder these a little bit. I think I'm gonna put Dante here. I'm gonna put Dante as the best event in the game. Box I would put here. I would order it like this. Yeah, I would order it like that. As the best one of all of these. these are all kind of interchangeable to me. I'd maybe put this here as like the least appealing. I think these are all kind of interchangeable. I would order it this tier like this. Yeah, I think this is how I would order it. So yeah, that is the Monster Train 2 event tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. If you guys did, make sure to like, comment, and or subscribe. And all of you out there, have a nice day.